Hi, I'm Pedro from Coffee Parts, and today we're looking at a SanRemo AllGround coffee grinder. So this grinder was actually a collaboration with Firenzato, and SanRemo have named it the AllGround because it really can do all grounds. It's got three main settings, from espresso to mocha to filter, and it's really easy to adjust the dial. But let's take one step back and see what we're going to be talking about in this video. So we're going to look at the grinder, its features and some of the cooler stuff it has, and then we're going to compare it to other grinders in the market and see how it performs within that price point. So this grinder comes with 64mm titanium coated red speed burrs. Now, for a grinder of this price point, those burrs are on the upper end of burrs, which makes it really nice. But where they've really done something different is the way you can dial in the grinder and clean out those burrs. So it's got 30 notches in espresso, which you can just turn really easily. And then you go over to mocha or filter. And as you do that, the display changes, because in espresso, you pretty much have two program buttons, single or double, which obviously you can adjust the time or manual ground. And when you're in mocha or filter, it's a start-stop operation. So if you wanted to clean out this chamber, you can go over to the red, press that button there, and the whole thing lifts out. We'll do it a little later because right now we've got coffee in there. One thing to note is bringing it between, to say, mocha to filter or mocha to espresso, whatever it might be, you need to grind out 11 grams of coffee to effectively flush it out and have that coffee at the right grind setting. In saying that, the grinder technically only has about 1 to 1.5 degrees of retention, but you really do need to flush it out to make it work, and just because you're moving the blades quite a lot. Talking about retention, because you've only got 1 to 1.5 grams of retention, you could use this as a single dose grinder, which has become quite popular, but it really wasn't made for this. It was made to have your coffee in the hopper and you're basically grinding on demand, which is what it is. The cool thing about this grinder is the way it holds the portafilter or the grinds catcher. So with the portafilter, you've got a support here that just grabs a portafilter and you can grind directly into the portafilter. If you are in a filter mode, you can grind directly in to this grinds catcher just by popping it in there. And there's no mess because it completely connects. Although it doesn't come with it, you can also grind directly into a dosing cup just by putting the cup there, and that's probably my favorite way to do it. It's just a practical way of then getting that out and putting it into your portafilter without any loss, and it's easy to weigh it in between. So looking at the display, like every other grinder, you can hold down your single and then you can adjust your time up and down, press OK, same for double, and the top button is grind on demand. As I mentioned earlier, if you were in mocha, you've just got the start stop feature. So start and then stop. One annoying thing about this grinder is it doesn't have a micro switch. So you do have to press the screen to start and stop, compared to like other grinders like the Eureka, which you can do one or the other. But I'm not sure if that's a negative as such. Comparing it size-wise, it is very similar in size to the Mazda Mini, so it's bigger than the Eureka Minion, and it's very similar in build quality too, although I think the Mazda really is a bulletproof build. The hopper holds 250 grams of coffee, and the grinder is rated for 1 kilo a day, so obviously a lot more than you'd use in a home. You could use this in a small office. Probably a cafe's pushing it, and you'd tend to go a bigger grinder that's a little bit faster. Where this grinder really wins in the market is the adjustment here. It really is just super simple to adjust compared to the little knobs of, to say, Eureka or the very heavy grind collar of a Mazda. And that's, I think, what makes this grinder stand out. Obviously, you've got different colors. That's just a more cosmetic thing. If you wanted, in this case, green, white, black, chrome, blue, jump on the website to have a look at the colors. There is quite a lot of them. So just grinding into the portafilter, dosing cup, and the filter catcher, we'll just do it really quick just to see how the machine operates. We're just going to grind a double. Now the grinder's super consistent and very much on par with the likes of, say, your Malconic X54, Eureka XL, Mazda Mini E. So we're talking about that level of grinder. If you're grinding into a dosing cup, same procedure. And now if you're grinding in the filter, that's where it kind of changes. You can bring it into, in this case, mocha or filter. You'd want to grind 11 grams of coffee out just between them. So we could just grind into the dosing cup some coffee. And now with the filter catcher, you can pop it in. It sits down low. You can actually bring it up so that there is no mess at all, and it just adjusts it in. And now we just grind as we need. With a coarser coffee, you're always going to get more basically mess. But because this has the catcher that moves up there, you really are stopping it from going everywhere. In saying that, it's still a grinder. There's still going to be a bit of grounds around. And one cool thing is it does have a lid which you can pop in if you want to take it somewhere with you. Although I'd probably actually go buy a little container, something like the Airscape, that's a bit more portable and a little bit more secure in that respect. That's the grinding. Now we're just going to get rid of the beans and show you how to change the blades or clean out the full chamber inside. So I mentioned earlier, one of the key features is how easy this machine is to clean. We'll start with the spout, which is quicker. It's actually just held in by a magnet. So if you just pull it out, you've got your spout out here, which you can just clean out, give it a wipe down and put it back in. When it comes to the blades, just removing the hopper, we want to bring the two red markers together, simply like that, and then press this button down. When we press this button, out it comes. And as you can see, you got the 64mm red speed blades and you got access to clean all in there without any tools and without much fuss. You can just pop these back in. They just pop in, they don't need recalibration or readjustment. Bring in the top, once again, red with red, lock it down, move it, press that button down, and you're back in. Just remembering now you've got no coffee, you can just move it to where you want. If you did have coffee between the steps, you just got to purge 11 grams out. But there you go. And you've cleaned the Burr chamber out. And once again, you've obviously got the chute here, which you can clean. But that's all it takes to clean this grinder. Thank you for watching this video on the SanRemo AllGround. If you've liked this video, hit that thumbs up. It really helps us. If you're not yet subscribed, you know the deal. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you again and see you on the next video.